post office scandal, Investigator denies claims of mafia behavior. Ex-post office investigator Stephen Bradshaw has denied he and colleagues behaved like mafia gangsters towards wrongly accused sub-postmasters. Mr. Bradshaw was involved in the criminal investigation of 9 sub-postmasters and was giving evidence to the post office inquiry. He denied intimidating or misleading the sub-postmasters he investigated. Hundreds were wrongly prosecuted between 1999 and 2015 after being falsely accused of stealing money. There were more than 900 convictions linked to the scandal, with only 93 so far being overturned, after a faulty computer system called Horizon made it look like money was missing from accounts. The government has pledged to bring in a new law to swiftly exonerate and compensate victims of the scandal. Mr. Bradshaw, who joined the unit tasked with investigating sub-postmasters in 2000, was questioned for several hours on Thursday. Extracts were read out from a statement by Shazza Sadiq, a former sub-postmistress originally from Newcastle, who used to run 3 post offices in the city. "I have received intimidating telephone calls from Stephen Bradshaw, who began calling me before I knew he worked for the post office. He did not identify himself in his calls, he just made demands of me," the statement read. Recalling a date in 2016, M. Sadiq, a single mother, said, "Stephen Bradshaw called me and I refused to speak to him because I did not know who he was or who he worked for. In that telephone call, he called me a bitch, which I found extremely distressing." Mr. Bradshaw called her claims completely untrue. He denied hounding her and insisted he would always say who he was on a phone call. M. Sadiq said she and her children, who lived above one of their post offices, were physically assaulted due to the false allegations. "People chucked flour and eggs at us, and after that, we fled and I've never been back. My daughter was 8 and my son 4. We left so quickly that all they packed were their teddies," she told the BBC. Jacqueline MacDonald was wrongly jailed over a supposed theft in 2011, account of the failings of the Horizon IT system. The faulty software was supplied to the post office by Fujitsu and introduced in 1999. It was used for tasks including accounting and stock-taking. Mr. Bradshaw was the latest post office investigator to appear before the long-running inquiry, with another 13 set to come. For almost 350 years the post office has investigated fraud, thanks to the legal principle that anyone in England and Wales can privately prosecute a suspect for a crime. That power is also regularly used by the RISPCA. The BBC's legal correspondent, Dominic Cassidy, says the evidence shows that time and again defendants were not shown information about Horizon's flaws. That breach of the court rules of disclosure meant they were denied a fair and just trial. Next week the chief executives of the post office and Fujitsu will be grilled by MPs during a Business and Trade Committee evidence session.